Long ago, in the age of kings and gods, there was a time of peace and compassion, which was short-lived, for the greed and pride of evil men will always throw humanity in the darkness and violence of destruction. War and rage begin in the hearts of conquerors, and that rage spills in every corner of the earth they tread on. One such man, a king of his own land, filled with ambition, contrived of his own delusions, a king conquering and placing fear in the hearts of his subjects. Little by little, expanding his lands by taking over one village after another. One such village poisoned by this man was the village of Artemis. The village of Artemis was known for its peace-filled walls and quiet living, a little corner of heaven on earth, untouched by the greed and evil of the rest of the world surrounding it. A boy sits on the shores, daydreaming about the adventures that lie on the other side of this sea. As he watches the clouds and the blue sky off the horizon, he notices the blood-red sails of a grand ship, of which he has never seen the likes before. This was a ship filled with death. A warship is coming. The boy runs to warn his village and tell them of what he saw, but he is too late. The evil reaches Artemis first, and the smell of death is everywhere. His village is destroyed. The boy races to his mother to find a sword plunged in her dead body. He screams and cries, but with this bloodshed and the murder of his mother and the destruction of his village, this boy of Artemis makes a vow on the spilled blood of his countrymen to destroy this king, to take vengeance on him for the pain he has caused, a promise of death that is yet to come. Leaving his home behind in a blaze of fire, the boy learns the wicked art of survival. The boy grew strong as he fought in the wilderness, killing and stabbing away his pain in his young age, and growing into a renowned and fierce fighter, reaching status as a soldier of fortune, going where the trail of blood and tears will lead him. Every step he takes, moving him closer to revenge. Eventually, the boy finds himself where his daydreams took him when he was young. Across the sea of his childhood torment, he became part of the same army that destroyed his village. This young warrior of Artemis is now a weapon of war, aimed and led by the king that killed the boy's mother. The plan of his youth lost is now coming to fruition. He is not a weapon for the king, but a tool to be turned on him. The young warrior of Artemis kneeling in line, waiting to be greeted and knighted by the king. As the warrior looks up, poised to introduce the point of his sword to the black heart of the king. As the warrior makes the movement to unsheath his tool of revenge, he looks up and sees light. He has witnessed something he didn't understand. He was struck hard and left in shock the moment he sees the king's daughter. All of a sudden, revenge takes a different route. Now, instead of seeking revenge, the warrior of Artemis seeks the hand of the beautiful girl. Bowing down gracefully, taking the role as a soldier in the king's army, and the soldier for the love of the daughter of the king. By days conquering land, and by night conquering the daughter's heart. Midnight tryst under the moonlight for no one to see, until the shadows and mist that veiled love was pulled away. The king notices the strings tying them together. The king confronting the warrior of Artemis, now wrapped in chains. The king tells him he knows his secret, and that no man like him shall ever have his daughter. The king was willing to do anything to destroy that, but killing this warrior would be too easy. So the king devised a plan. The Colosseum, the arena of death and despair. The king's orders were to put the warrior into the pit of misery as a punishment or mercy, will fight or fall. But in the end of it all, he would not have his daughter. The king in his twisted way gave the warrior a choice. He said he's going to the Colosseum, and on either side there will be 2 doors. One door has lions behind it, the other a beautiful girl. He's pushed in the middle of the ring and sees the king with the princess and his shadows behind him. He notices a slight gesture from the princess' finger to one of the doors. He thinks to himself that if she loves him so much that she would see him live with someone else than to have him torn apart by the lions. But the warrior of Artemis, he who has lost everything, would rather die than to face a day without his beloved one. The warrior of Artemis decides the door opposite of what the dear king's daughter pointed at. Surely the lions are his fate. At least that he will know, and he has chosen it. The warrior of Artemis opens the door, and he is struck with 2 things. There were no lions, but the girl. And the second thing he was struck by was the realization that his beloved princess was more sinister than her father, leading him towards death. None of his chosen paths led to any of his goals. No revenge, no love, no peace, no satisfaction in any of his life's ambitions. He was a warrior, but he will never be the warrior of Artemis.